Might be now. Aye. The win was more than just a win tonight because it gets you to a final of a European competition. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for the players, thrilled for everybody at the club. I'm really pleased for the owners at the club because they did say that they were going to bring European football back to London Stadium, and not only that, they've now brought them a European final. So really pleased for all the people at the club.
It was a really gritty, solid.
Yeah.
Pablo,
yeah.
In the end, just how you were feeling in that goal.
It was, but look, I knew we probably wouldn't have a lot of possession, and we've not been a side this season who's had it as much as we'd like. But you know, winning games, there's different ways to win football matches, and if it was only football matches were only won one way, then we would be bored. We won it tonight. We were keeping a clean sheet. That was part of the job. It's part of any football club. You've got to try and do that at times. And we've done a really good job at that. We were organised. We had a good defensive structure when we needed it. And I've got to say, you know, I've said from probably the minute the draw was made, I thought AZ was a really tough draw, and I think it proved to be. They're a good footballing team, played in a really good style. Just on the night we were able just about to keep them out and nicked a goal.
And I know this is a real positive moment and it's a great part of the team. There were some scenes at the end. What happened?
Well, I can't explain what happened or why it happened. I can only tell you there was players involved because it was the family section where most of their family and friends were in. And I think that's why a lot of them were seeing friends of their own family in that area. So that was probably the reason for the reaction. And you know I don't want to do is that in any way to blight the night that because it certainly wasn't West Ham supporters who were looking for trouble. They were happy to celebrate at the end of the game. So over it, no. It's not something that I know. So hopefully they'll look into it and see the reasons why.
Were your family in that section?
My family were there, yeah, and I had friends in that section, yeah.
Were you worried that they were getting caught up in that?
Yeah, but I think that you're hoping that they would sort of try and get themselves away from it. You'd hope, but if I'd seen it was a couple of friends were in that area, and I didn't recognise it because I was too happy to. Go onto the pitch and see the referee and see the other people before we left, and the security actually wanted to take me inside, but I had to make sure that the players were not going to get involved in it as well.
David, you said earlier a couple of weeks ago, if you got to this final, it'd be the greatest achievement of your managerial career. Is that how you see that reflecting off such a brilliant night?
Yeah, probably. In many ways, I wouldn't. I think in football you're always loath to put a title to things, but I think to get to a European final. And let's be fair, last year we got to a semi-final. We came really, really close to getting to a final. So maybe you shouldn't be too surprised. I think I don't know if I quote the right number or not, but I think we've won 15 and drawn 1 in this run, something like that, 14 and 1. We've got one more to go to see if we can win. So we're thrilled. So you have to say that we've done a really good job in Europe this season, and really pleased.
And we spoke on Sunday, and you said you felt you had a real dilemma, perhaps, between a Gerd and Ogbonna. You stuck with a Gerd, and it proved to pay off for you tonight.
Yeah, I think that he's a boy who's I said many times, is getting used to the Premier League, and I think he's got lots and lots of attributes, really good attributes. He might just take a bit of time, and might be going to be one of the ones that takes a wee bit longer to sort of get used to some things. But I thought tonight the game would suit him, and I thought he'd done a good job.
David, I have a question for you. How much did that semi-final last season affect you going into this season? And do you feel, things have come full circle now after winning a semi-final?
Yeah, I did. I talked about it to the players tonight before we left. The disappointment we had in Frankfurt. The scenes which we all got emotionally caught up. The scenes outside were incredible. I have to say the Frankfurt support was awesome. It really was. So we just reminded the players a little bit how we felt. How we didn't want to feel that way again. I've got to tell you, some difference in the dressing room tonight. It was fantastic, I've got to tell you.
Have you ever been in Prague in your life, Mr. Moyes?
Do you know something? I've been thinking about that, and I think I might have gone to a game, but maybe not. But Thomas Souček says he's going to look after me. They're going back home, So I think it's back to their stadium, I think. So I don't know the outcome of the other game yet, but but hopefully we're looking forward to going now, and great achievement for West Ham Football Club to be in a European final.
Would you prefer Fiorentina or Basel? I mean, the game is not finished yet. Extra time. Does it matter who you face in the final?
Look, I think when you go to the final now, and you're only going to play good teams. I thought AZ were a very good team. Them beating Anderlecht and Lazio gives you an idea of, we might have not played their best in the two games, but we played in a style what got us over the line and got us to the final.
David, you mentioned the dressing room there. Can you paint us a picture of what's going on in depth?
Raucous would be the biggest word. Yeah.
Who's doing what? Who's saying what?
I don't really want to give too much away, but no, it's great because it's something which is a manager and players you don't get too often in your career, and look, we're enjoying tonight, and the players are, and I think the supporters will as well, because they saw their club and their team get to a final, which is so important.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Ta.
We'll just do it, the regulars, if you want to come outside, and we'll just do a quick 5 minutes of preview leads.